21 Pilots. Mental health has been a key issue for them to tackle since they started making songs. Tyler's used his lyrics to express himself and his thoughts. Through creation, he found personal relief from all the thoughts he was having about his life. Now that we're in Trench, that's been flipped. Through creation, he's attempting to give us relief from our own thoughts, our own mental problems. By giving his songs so intricate and detailed, we get lost in them for hours trying to understand their meanings, to try and see them in new lights and new perspectives. And by sending an undertone of hopeful messages, they will, hopefully, make it through to all of us, and give us more power in our own battles and fights against mental health issues. One of the beautiful things about 21 Pilots songs is that they all can mean something different to someone else. They seem like they're designed to be that way, to be exactly what people want to hear from them. Different people have different opinions, and they're all perfectly valid and correct. This is how I see some of Trench, through my own eyes. The Trench trilogy: Jumpsuit, Nico and the Niners, and Leather Tape. The music videos of these songs represents a cycle. There's no definitive beginning or ending, and that cycle can be a metaphor for mental health. The whole idea of the cycle of being brought back to Dima and escaping again has been covered pretty well by now. But what the trilogy also does is show us that battles with mental health issues are never straightforward. There's lots of ups, lots of downs. There are lots of unexpected events. For example, having your neck snatched by a freaky red-hooded bishop. I'm looking at you, Nico. But seriously, mental health issues are so complex that unexpected ups and downs tend to happen very often, suddenly, and with no explanation. There are so many factors at play in determining mental well-being. The ups and downs seem to keep coming round and happening again, in a cycle. But no matter what, Tyler keeps going and keeps fighting. Even if he doesn't have the energy to do so in every moment. And even if there are times where it seems like he's given in. Looking at the whole order of the songs in Trench, it seems to follow no pattern in terms of the general mood. Uplifting and then downbeat songs are all over the place and come one after another. Even within songs, a lot of the time there will be uplifting and then downbeat lyrics. The best examples would be Cut My Lip, where Tyler sings "Though he's bruised, he'll keep moving", and Pet Cheetah, where Tyler addresses the pressures of songwriting, but being able to overcome them. Almost all of the songs in the album reference mental health within them, and by doing that, awareness is being spread. The importance of talking about mental health and promoting awareness is huge. It's one of the biggest challenges in society at the moment, in my opinion. As much as we're changing our ideas and opinions on the topic for the better, I also feel mental health issues are becoming a lot more common in society. Society is rapidly evolving, more quickly than ever, and the only way to win our own fight against the stigma around mental health, our fight on behalf of everybody who suffers from mental health problems, is by talking about it. So don't just take it from me.
So, I am supposed to answer what is the single most important thing that the album Trench has taught me about mental health. This is hard because there's so many, but the single most important thing that comes to mind is hope. I think specifically to the part of the jumpsuit video where Tyler has given up. He's just following Blurryface, Nico, the bishop, whoever he is. And the moment that he decides to fight and not to give up is when he looks down and sees that yellow flower. And the second he sees the yellow flower, he looks up. And that's when he sees the banditos, and that's when they start throwing the yellow petals. And Tyler goes from just following blurry face, submissively, not even fighting, not even willing to try and live, to angry. I mean, when right before he runs, his face is angry, but that yellow flower, the yellow petals, the whole yellow theme of Trench represents hope. That there is a reason to stay alive, that there is a reason to fight. Despite everything going on in here all the time, there is a reason to look up, and there is a reason to fight.
I think the most prominent message Trench conveys about mental health is that it's okay to take recovery at your own pace. You might not get to a better place as fast as you wanted to, but that's okay. Even if you end up feeling stuck or something happens to pull your progress backwards, that's okay too. Because in the end, what really matters is making the choice to keep pushing forward, no matter how long that might take.
The symbolism throughout Trench has led me to spend a lot of time away from my phone and become more introspective, especially after watching the music video for Nico and the Niners. Specifically, the statues and neon gravestones caught my attention because they symbolize everything 21 Pilots doesn't. They symbolize the Depressive's goal to be immortalized after death, and as a society, we value superficial things such as fame and success and social status and wealth, and it leads us to not becoming more introspective, and we don't know what we truly want or what our purpose in life is. And without a purpose, it's easy to succumb to depression and anxiety by believing dying is the only way to gain notoriety and the only way to be remembered. 21 Pilots challenges its listeners to think outside of their own bubble and to figure out what it is exactly that makes up our identity and what makes us unique. And by finding your identity, you will begin to see your purpose in life and will be content with being remembered for the things you do while you're alive. So I personally started confronting my emotional baggage, or my bishops, by writing about it, which is heavily inspired by 21 Pilots' music, and sharing it to help myself accept and learn from the reality of what I've lost and to recognize what is out there for me to gain. Trench, above all else, has taught me the great responsibility of being the hero in my own journey. It is my duty as a listener to keep forging on and to continue to see the true light in this world, and to not be drawn to the false idols and the ignorant glory that accompanies it. Becoming aware of my own struggles and pain and uncomfortable feelings is a step forward to ending the cycle of mental illness and self-harm. When I no longer resist these thoughts and these fears and become grateful for the lessons I have been taught as a result of their presence, I'm no longer held under their control. Dima don't control us.
Going back to the album, where should we look for the main messages and themes? I think that's Jumpsuit and Leave the City. There's a great importance to the start and end of an album. Jumpsuit carries on from Heavy Dirty Soul and the Blurry Face era, and introduces everyone to the idea of a fight, the fight Tyler's having with his mind. With Leave the City, as Nalbis puts it perfectly in his recent video, Tyler gets us to literally sing aloud, "In time, I will leave the city. For now, I will stay alive." That, in my opinion, is the key message of the whole album. Stay alive. Keep fighting. We can beat adversity. We can achieve things. The most important thing right now is for us to stay alive. They know that it's almost over. It makes me think of the idea that thinking that something's almost over makes you think you're not so stuck in that situation. You can feel very isolated and trapped in mental health troubles. The light can be really hard to see. A lot of the time, it feels like fighting will just lead you round and round in circles. but by showing in the music videos that when you fight, it actually does something. By fighting against your problems, you're shaking things up, you're making an impact, and getting close to being over your struggles. And did I mention? In Trench, nobody's alone. It's so easy to think that when you're suffering, but you're not alone. You have people fighting in your corner, for you and for everybody else going through mental health problems. In Trench, we're not alone.